Hi everybody, I'm Cassandra from Craft to Live After, and welcome to another video. Now friends, today I'm sitting in a slightly different spot in the apartment than I usually do. Normally I like to film my videos in my son's room. It's nice and quiet, the lighting is quite good over there, but today I have decided to sit at my own desk space. So I will just quickly move the camera just a teeny tiny bit that you can see the space where I normally work. So if I do work from home, so 2 days a week I do work from home, but this is just the space I really enjoy working at. And I've mentioned before, it looks like I work in a toy shop. So over on this side, this is our piano that we moved with us from South Africa, that I inherited from my grandparents. On top of it, this whole lot of boxes you see here, that is my Star Wars Barbie collection. Over here is the rest of my toy display, all the way right up to the top there. I do feel like I need a bit more shelf space. I've got quite a few more things that I would like to display, but for the moment I love how it looks. I love working in this space because I am just, I don't know, a toy collector, a toy maker at heart. So for those of you that have recently joined the channel, welcome to this wonderful yarny community. It's wonderful to have you as part of the channel. As I mentioned, I'm Cassandra. I live in Copenhagen in Denmark, and I am primarily an amigurumi maker. So I love crochet, but primarily I make amigurumi. Although what you will see today might surprise you, especially for those of you who have been with the channel for a long time. But I will get into that in a teeny tiny little bit. I'm going to start off with my favorite make of the year. Now I know it's only the 12th of January 2025, but I have been massively surprised by the doll book, or the doll booklet, that was or is a part of the Simply Crochet Now magazine. I think it's issue number 155. I mentioned it in my 1st of January video that I'm planning to do some of these dolls. I've made the first doll. So this is actually a collection. It's 12 doll patterns, and the designer is Claire Cooper. I think it's Claire Cooper. She is the designer behind Ochi Pots or Oki Pots. I'm not sure how you say the name, but the lady who designed those, I call them the bull's eye dolls. I think they're called Amigurumi Adventures. I do have the book. I've made some of the projects from it. But Claire Cooper is the designer behind this entire calendar that you got as an additional, well, you got it as a calendar if you buy the physical copy of the Simply Crochet magazine. I also purchased the electronic copy on Pocket Mags because my physical copy that I ordered from the UK, it hasn't arrived yet, and I was so eager to start working on these dolls. They're called, I think, Festival Dolls of the World. And let me tell you, this is by far the biggest surprise of the last couple of months, actually, to be honest. I did not expect these dolls to be so fantastic. I have loved making the first one. The first one is a Viking doll, and I will show you what my doll turned out to look like. I absolutely loved making this doll. It's wonderfully designed. It's got such a lot of detail. I mean, it comes with this little, I don't know, sword and a shield, and everything about this pattern was wonderfully written. I had no problems. Well, I had a little problem with this little cape thing. They call it, I think, a furry cape or something in the pattern. I didn't quite understand what I was supposed to do. I still think it looks like what the photo looks like. Also, my doll's helmet, I think I sewed on a little high, and then his head looked very empty, and my husband suggested that I just crochet a few strands of hair, as we did for the little fringe poking out. I did some little hairs poking out the side of his head, and I really like the effect of it. But this was a fantastic pattern to follow. So like I say, I'm still waiting for my physical copy to arrive. I think it should be here this week. But I've enjoyed working from the digital copy. I've got it on my phone. I've got the app Pocket Mags on my phone as well as my tablet. So I worked from my tablet. All I did was I printed out, because you've got to turn back and forth a bit. So there's a base body pattern. So for all of the dolls, the head and the body shape, the arms, all of that is the same. But where you do certain color changes, or working in the front loops, working in the back loops, in for that specific doll, when you get to that doll pattern, you've got to sort of work back and forth, because it will say, for instance, for the legs, work the same as for the base doll, rows 1 to 11, and then change to this and change to that. So you've got to jump around a bit. So I just printed out the base doll pattern for myself, just to have next to the pattern of the actual doll, so that I didn't have to, flip screens the whole time and, go back and forth and lose my space. So I work with a printed out base doll copy, which really worked well. So even if you have the physical calendar to work from, I would still make a copy of the base doll pattern. It's just so much easier to have both of the patterns next to each other and work with it side by side. But I loved making this doll. It was such a surprise. Now, originally I mentioned that I might want to do some of them. There's 12 different doll patterns, but I've now actually decided I'm going to do them all. They are brilliant, beautifully detailed. I cannot believe this is a booklet that you get as part of a magazine. Now, the magazine, I think, cost me in the region of about $10. So if I convert it, I paid in Danish kroner. But if I converted it to dollars, it's like $10, or about 8 or 9, pounds. But to get everything, so all the patterns that you get in the regular magazine, plus a booklet with 12 different doll patterns, I think it is an absolute bargain. So I cannot speak highly enough of these patterns. I love it. I've loved this first doll. I know there's quite a few of you making these dolls as well, and I would love to see what yours look like. So either, I follow quite a few of you on Instagram. I can't wait to see what they look like. Even if you want to email me your photos, and I can do a little slideshow every month of everyone who did their doll for that month, because I think this is going to be, it's not, like I say, and I mentioned it in the first one, I'm not making this at all a crochet along. It's just, I know a few people are already making the doll. I'm going to make every doll, because they are all super, super cute. Now, the next one that is coming up, and I'll show you what my app looks like. So this is the little app on the phone, just here, Pocket Mags. And then, so this is the next doll that we will be doing. It is a festival doll. She is from, what is she called? The Rio Carnival doll. So the February doll is the Rio Carnival. The first doll is the I cannot actually pronounce this properly, Heli from the Shetland, Lerwick in Shetland. And it is a Viking. So it's sort of a Viking festival that they have. But I have loved making this doll. This has been one of my favorite makes in recent months. I cannot recommend this highly enough. So if you at all have a chance to either get hold of the physical book or get it somewhere else digitally, it is well worth it. I used for this one, just to mention, my usual, it should come as no surprise. It is rainbow cotton, or I used a mix of rainbow cotton and French cotton 8/6. And here and there, like for this red little cape, I used Amigurumi Amigurumi DK, which is actually a 3-weight yarn, but it is almost exactly the same thickness as my sport weight Friends Cotton, Rainbow Cotton 86. So they'll mix the two a bit, but for the most part, Friends Cotton and Rainbow Cotton 86, and a 2.5 millimeter hook. And I love it. Like I say, the details on the little boots, the hammer, the shield, just everything. I loved it. So that was the first make that I wanted to share with you. The second thing that I wanted to share with you, and this is yarn that I got during the last week. I purchased it from Hobby, and it is called Horizon. It is 100% acrylic. I mean, just look at this beautiful color. So it's blues, light blue, dark blue. It looks a little orangey on the screen because my lighting where I'm sitting is terrible, but it is actually pink. So I don't know how I can let it. But anyway, if you go onto the Hobby website and you search for Horizon, it's color number, I think it's color number 19. Beautiful pinks and blues. And with it, I also purchased Kind Feather, which is a blend. This is an acrylic. Oh no, it's also 100% acrylic in this cream color. Oh, my camera's not focusing. There we go. And this is the surprise, friends, that I wanted to share with you, because everyone and their friend has been jumping on the Hexagon cardigan, wagon, train, bus, wherever we are going, whatever mode of transport we are using to get there. I am with everyone. Started out with me watching K&K Crochet's video, KK and Kristen. They're doing the Hexi Cardi Party 2025. I originally didn't want to join, and then there was sort of, you know, almost a dare that was thrown in my direction from my friend Jenny over at In My Spare Time Crochet. And although I have a thing against group pressure, you will not believe me, guys, me loving everything about group activities, I always say that I'm immune to group pressure. I found out that's not the case at all. You know, when Jenny threw out that challenge, I was on the bus and I got this far already. So let me just see if I can show you. So I have worked up, this is my square so far, or it's not a square, it's a hexagon. This is how far I have come. This is actually just one ball. I worked up an entire ball of this Horizon. Where's the front? An entire ball of this Horizon is in the hexagon that I've showed you. Now the stats on this one, it's 200 grams and 550 meters, 601 yards, 7.1 ounces. So it is quite a lot of yarn, and I've used all but this little string hanging here. That's all I've got left of my first ball of it. So I have really enjoyed this pattern. Now I think this is also the pattern that KK and Kristen, I don't know if both of them are going to use it, but this is the pattern that they recommended on their channel. It's from Make and Do Crew. I think it's something like the Day Date Cardigan or the Day Date Hexagon Cardigan. I will link the video down below. It is a free video tutorial. There's a free pattern on the Make and Do Crew's blog. I did purchase the printable PDF pattern from their Etsy shop. I do like to have the printed pattern. Sometimes it's just a little easier than trying to read a pattern on a blog with all those masses of ads in between. So I did buy the pattern, but I've loved working on it. So it's just a 2-row repeat, like I think for the entire thing. And it's been really nice. So it's something, once you get into the rhythm of it, it's not something you really have to massively concentrate on. You do sort of get into the flow of the 2 rows that you're repeating. But I've really, really enjoyed it. I cannot believe, actually, that I willingly and participating in a cardigan crochet along. But as I mentioned in my 1st of January video, I'm going to try and make some different projects this year. Amigurumi will forever be my first love, but I am just trying new things, and I've always wanted to see if I can do a cardigan. So I'm really excited to see how this turns out. So thank you, Jenny, for sort of giving me that last push over the cliff. I am now full on into this crochet along, and I'm really excited to see everyone else's cardigans. I've seen a lot of videos pop up with a lot of people taking part. I've loved it. It's a nice motivation to do something when everyone else is doing it as well. So much for peer pressure or group pressure. I am now, what can I say, part of whatever pressure there is in the crochet world. I seem to be jumping on those trains and those buses. Then the very last thing I want to share with you, friends, today is, of course, our Amigurumi World Tour based on the Whimsical Stitches book. Now, the book, our US book, had some movement again. It was sent to our most recent recipient, Stephanie, and she has chosen, I think, the tulip. If I'm wrong, because I read her email, I think a day or so ago, but so many things have happened, and I've been working on, I've had this book open and going through it, and somehow I can't 100% recall if it was the tulip or not. I'm fairly certain she has chosen the tulip. But like I say, if I'm wrong, I'll put it on the screen. So our US book, I think we've only got now 3 people left to receive the book. It's very exciting. Hopefully very, very soon our international book will start moving in Canada again. And then from Canada, it goes to New Zealand, from New Zealand to Australia. And then we are through with our international book as well. So we are in that home stretch. I'm super excited. Now, the last project that I've done was one that was fairly recent, and it is the bell pepper. So I did make the little pepper. This was such a quick make, very, very easy to do. So another one to add to my Whimsical Stitches collection. I should be updating the journal within the next day or so. A few people have emailed me throughout, actually, I think the last 2 weeks. I have not updated the journal yet. So I'll be updating the journal this week and putting the latest journal onto my blog. Again, I will link my blog in the description box down below. Also, I will link my email address. Anyone, as I say, if you are making those dolls, the festival dolls from the Simply Crochet magazine, please let me know. You're welcome to send me a photo. I would love to show a few of us doing those dolls every month. As I say, I've now decided to do every one because I've loved making this Viking doll so much. All right, you guys, that is it for this week. Couple of interesting things I've been working on, interesting things that's coming up in the next couple of weeks that I cannot wait to share with you. But as always, I love hanging out with you all. I love hearing what you are working on. How has the start of the new year been for all of you? Have you had some time to do some crafty projects? I know around the world things are just crazy at the moment. The weather's crazy. I know a lot of people, with bushfires, and some places have got floods, and it's just a crazy time that we live in. So I hope everyone is safe. I hope you, like I say, have had a good start to 2025. I cannot wait to read your comments. I cannot wait to hear from you. I cannot wait to start chatting with you again in the comments. But that's it, you guys. That's it for this week. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing my few projects. And as always, you guys, enjoy hanging out with you. And I look forward to chatting to you all again very, very soon. So until my next video, stay safe and stay crafty.